Greetings. I'm here to do a long, nerdy makeup professor video on winter skincare and specifically on natural winter skincare. Several people have asked me whether I've noticed a difference in my skin since I've gone natural. And the answer to that, surprisingly, is yes. I say surprisingly because I think I had three commonly held misconceptions. The first was that I needed to think of my skin in terms of something sick that needed to be fixed, and what it needed was medicine. The second was I had created this great divide between natural, organic, and science. And I, of course, was saying, well, I want science because science is going to do all these great things for me. And I still love science. I had a BRVO in my left eye. I was losing vision fast, and were it not for experimental science, I just wouldn't have vision in that eye. So I still love science. I'm not somebody who's going to give up on science. The third, I think, is that I held a lot of misconceptions about natural products. Really, probably the last time I tried natural products was in the 80s, and natural products of the 80s are very different than natural products today. So those were three of my big misconceptions. As I went natural, my attitudes towards natural and organic product changed. And they changed in the way I noticed that my diet changed when I went on a weight loss program about 4 years ago. About 4 years ago, I decided I wasn't going to diet again, but I was just going to reform the way that I ate. I went from thinking about my plate to a main meal with these sides of veggies to thinking about a plate that included at the center of it really fruits and vegetables, and then at the outer edges protein and carbs. That change in thinking, along with drinking more water and doing more exercises, meant that I went from a size 14-16 to the 246 that I am today and that I maintain. That shift in thinking, in other words, was really crucial for me. And yes, my skin did improve when I started to eat better. So that was number one. Over the course of going natural last year, I came to see my skin in the same way that I see my eating habits. And I came to realize that my skin really wants nutrition, that instead of thinking about it as something sick that needs to be fixed, I think about it in terms of what it needs daily, what it needs nutritionally. And oddly enough, it wants fruits, it wants veggies, it wants moisture, and it wants rich oils. All the things really that my body craves internally, it craves externally as well. So that was a huge kind of mind shift for me. One other really crucial point, when I reformed my diet, one of the things I did was I got away from fast foods and overly processed, overly preserved foods. I've had to do the same thing with my skincare products. I've gone to things that are homemade, even if they're not homemade by me. I've gone to things that aren't overly processed, and I've gone to products that aren't overly preserved. Getting away from a fast food diet, both in terms of what I take in internally and what I take in externally, was crucial. And I have to say that what is available at the mall markets, I guess I'll call them the mall stores, the mall beauty counters, is fast food. It is product that is overly processed and overly preserved, but it is wrapped in a kind of veneer of science. So those things were crucial to the way that I thought about what goes into my body and on my body. My skin, in fact, has been better since I have been on a natural regime. In fact, so much so that 2013, I'm going to do Make Out 2013. I'm going to try to get through toxic product I have, and that toxic product includes some skincare. And I honestly don't really want to use it. We'll see how I do because I'm really enjoying the natural skincare. Without further ado, let me get to the routine, which I have to say isn't simple. And it probably could be more simple, except for that I love skincare. I love skincare, I love makeup, and so I tend to be overly nerdy about it. And where I can take a step, I take that step. My facial routine has, I'm ashamed to say, 7 steps. 1, clean, obviously, exfoliate, tone and soften, nourish, moisturize, protect against the sun, and then because I am dry and throughout the day start to get drier, I need something to rejuvenate. So I set and rejuvenate throughout the day. So those 7, I'm going to start with cleansing. And I'm going to talk about a product that for me is a must-have product. I just want it in my skincare regime forever. I've talked about it before. It is this Shea Terra Gommage, and it is an argan and olive gommage. I use this just about once a week, sometimes twice in the summer, but you don't want to use this a lot because it has potassium hydroxide in it. So this is one you go easy on, once a week. How do I use it? I put it on my face. I boil a kettle of water. I put some rose hips tea into that water, throw a towel over my face, and steam it. Usually what I do is get one of those radio archive episodes on YouTube. I've been watching a lot with Lucille Ball. Those are about 10 minutes long. So I put that on in the background. I listen to Lucille Ball do her thing, and I have my towel over my head and I steam for 10 minutes. When I'm done steaming, I take my Truth in Aging Ultra Renew and I use that on the sonic setting. Go ahead and run that over my face a few times. When I'm finished with the Ultra Renew, I do something that really isn't for the faint of heart. I take a little bit of baking soda, bicarbonate, I put it in my hand, add a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of water, I put that on my face, and then yes, folks, because that is not an intense enough experience, I use my Clarisonic over that. Take that all off, and I'm done. That's the end of my gommage treatment. And I love it. I love what it does for my skin. You can look in the mirror afterwards and see a tremendous difference in your skin. The other thing I love about that is I don't go for facials often, but when I go for facials, maybe 2-3 times a year, I have almost no extractions. I mean, we're talking maybe 3, 4. And in fact, what's great about that is they give you other treatments where they would give you the extractions because they go over your face and they go, wow, you really don't need many extractions. Well, let's use that time for X. And so that's kind of fun. I swear by my Shea Terra Gommage. By the way, this is still the jug I purchased, I believe, in March. That's how long it's lasted me. That is Cleanse. It also talked about exfoliation because certainly that baking soda is an exfoliation procedure. I'm not going to talk today about daily cleansers just because I haven't found like that knock my socks off product, the one that I say I'll never use anything else again. I'm also not going to spend a lot of time talking about exfoliation because again, I just haven't found that one product that I go, oh yeah, I cannot be without this. There are just so many good ones out there. I'm still trying them. So at some point I might update on daily cleansing and exfoliation, but that won't be a topic for this. The next step I go to is toning and softening the skin. After I have done that gommage treatment that's fairly intense, I like to use this Cape Chamomile by Shea Terra. This is a hydrating facial spritz that is good for calming skin. It also comes in a toner, and I think I would prefer that to the spritz for what I use it for, and that toner is $22. So Cape Chamomile is really nice for calming the skin after you've traumatized it, I guess you could say. On an everyday basis, I love this Rosewater Ester C Facial Regeneration Mist from Shea Terra. At $18, I can burn through this pretty quickly, so I try to alternate it with other products. One of these other products is this Aubrey Organic C Buckthorn and Cucumber with Ester C Toner, and I can put this in one of these empty bottles and use the spray and spritz, spritz, spritz. It's at Whole Foods, so it's also more convenient to pick up. And at $9.92, I alternate between these, and then after I do that gommage treatment, I do use the Cape Chamomile, or anytime really that my skin feels a little stressed, I use this. If it's just feeling kind of dry and old, which is usually what I would be thinking about, then I use this. This really prevents it from feeling dry and old, which is nice. To nourish the skin, I use a combination of oils and serums, and part of this I do just because I've been using argan oil for a long time and really enjoy it. There are 2 of these little collections that you can get from Shea Terra. One has, I think, 3 vials, and the other one has 4 vials. The argan oil collection is $26. One of the products that's in there is a green coffee around eye serum. Love it, love it, love it. That's one of my products along with the gommage that I just wouldn't be without. That gives me a lot of hydration in that under eye area. I also like their African Wild Oil collection, and that is $26. These are really small vials, but they take me a long time to get through. I ordered these, I think, this summer. I'm still not anywhere near being at the end of those, even though I use them sometimes in my hair as well. So they seem to me to be a good price. I've never gotten a huge container of them. I'm thinking about getting the big size of the green coffee around eye serum because that's the one that I use the most. I do love One Love Organics Love Springs Eternal. It's a very light serum. It does have a funky smell, however. The other problem with it is $59, so I tend not to use that a lot. I actually use it on my lips, and it's fantastic, but really for all over, it's very good for softening wrinkles. By Davita, I like their Hyaluronic Ceragel, but again, it's a pricey product, $45.95. So these are products that I don't think of as must-haves, the One Love Organics and the Davita Ceragel. Nice if I have them around, but I don't run out to purchase them if I don't have them. So it's kind of like, okay, if I saw a sale or something like that, then I would go ahead and purchase them. But as far as bringing the $59 or the $45.95, I tend not to do it just because what I really enjoy are the argan and the other African oils made by Shea Terra, and those are at a more reasonable price. I can also buy the little collections and get a variety of those oils and kind of mix them up, and I think my face enjoys having something just a little bit different each time. Another product I've used for 100 years and swear by is vitamin C. I love to have vitamin C. I like this Philosophy Turbo C Boosting Powder. I've just used it for a long time. The main ingredient in here, however, is ascorbic acid, which you can get for a lot cheaper than you can get this particular product. I've had this for a long time. It does last. What I do is I mix it in with a little bit of cream. You can convert any cream you have into a C cream. Probably the biggest change in my skincare routine has been the inclusion of a balm, B-A-L-M, just in case my accent is funny on that one. But I had never used one before. Every winter, I really struggled with dry skin. I struggled with my foundations because of the dry skin, blah, blah, blah. I just had a kind of nightmare cycle of dry skin every winter. I've started using balms, and this to me has been miraculous. My favorite night one is this Celtic Complexion Cream. At $57, $52 plus $5 shipping and handling, this is not an inexpensive product, but I like it, and it's one that I will continue ordering. However, I was using it day and night because my face can take it day and night. It's that dry. At that price point, I was going to be burning through it, and it was just going to be too expensive. Enter Savvy Bohem Raven's Balm, $9.99 to $16.50, depending on the size you get. This is what I now use during the day. I learned about Celtic Complexion from my Good Box. Savvy Bohem I also learned about from my Good Box. I ordered another product for them, and they said, we think you're really going to like Raven's Balm, and they sent it along to me. Holy cow, I really like Raven's Balm, I have to say. So what I'm doing now is I use the Celtic Complexion Cream at night, and I use the Raven's Balm during the day. So these two, for me, are now must-have products. I will order both of them and keep them in my arsenal. Just as I'm a fan of the balm for the skins, I am a fan of the balm for the eyes. So I'm going to talk about a few of them. This is a new one I'm trying. This is Mukti Rejuvenating Eye Balm from Australia, natural organic certified company. It's pricey. It's about $39. It is more of an ointment. This has been a good one for keeping me moisturized. I apply it after I apply that Shea Terra serum. I apply the Shea Terra serum around eye serum first. I let that really sink in, and then I use this afterwards. This Mukti product, by the way, I got in my Truth in Aging box, which is how I learned about it. Another eye balm that I really enjoy is the 100% Pure Superfruits eye balm. This is $26. You can also look out for sales on 100% Pure. So sometimes just because of the price point, I know I'll pick up this instead of the Mukti, but I did like the Mukti better, I have to say. But I like this well enough that I would do it, especially getting a sale. I do not like the 100% Pure Coffee Bean eye cream for me. I've heard tremendously good things from other people about it, but I'm just too wickedly dry and too old, I think, for it. So for me, what really works is this Superfruits Night Balm from 100% Pure. One of the hardest categories for me has been protection, finding a good sunscreen that I liked. In part, I was trying the creams. Nothing was kind of floating my boat. I was using the Davita Solar Protective Moisturizer. It has SPF 30 plus, and it was okay. That was working all right. At $25.95, it's also not a cheap product. So what have I done? I've gone from $25.95, which I thought was expensive, to a $45 product. This Suntegrity I just got in my Good Box. I have been using this and trying this little bitty thing out, and I think I'm going to be hooked. Love it. This doubles as a primer, and my makeup goes on fantastic over it. So I'm really impressed with the Suntegrity. It does have dimethicone in it, and so it does have some silicone in it, but I've long ago reconciled myself to dimethicone. I'm not as worried about that as I am about other kinds of silicones. So that doesn't stop me from using it. The price point is high, but I think it's going to be a product that I'm going to feel very, very strongly about and want to use often. I did look at reviews, and some people had said that the Suntegrity Body product, which comes in a bigger container and costs less, has everything in it except for the grapeseed oil. Now, the grapeseed oil I can probably get already from another product, from a serum or something like that. So I'm not going to be worried about missing that. And this person claimed that they were able to use the body product on their face with they really couldn't tell a difference. It seemed to work equally as well. I have the 20% off coupon that I need to use by January 30th. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up the big size of this, the $45, but I'm also going to pick up this body lotion and see if it works for me, because I know it won't be wasted. I can use it on my body as well. But that will be one that if I can shave a few pennies there, I would be happy to do it, because $45 is fairly pricey. But I do really, really like it. It has a tint to it. It's thick, a little thick, but what it does is it goes on and it just kind of sits on the skin so nicely and really does form this wonderful, wonderful primer for your other products. So yeah, I'm really liking it. And so far, no ill effects. In short, I think I am loving it, and I expect to keep kind of loving it. I don't imagine, other than if it would break me out or something wicked like that, that there would be anything that would change my mind. I'm a fan already, and I've barely used it, but yeah, liking this a lot. Now, if I use Suntegrity, I'm not going to need a primer. This really does work as a primer. One product I've really, really loved is this Youthful Trends caffeinated makeup primer, and it does include ascorbic acid or vitamin C. I get it at Vitacost for $16.09, and I have been using it before makeup and after makeup. Since I started using the Suntegrity, I just use this to set my makeup. This has been a good product for setting my makeup. It's super moisturizing. Really love this. This is one of my, when I run out, I order it again. So it's like I always want this in my arsenal. Because I tend towards dry skin throughout the day, I like to rejuvenate with a mist. I've already talked about the Shea Terra Rosewater Ester C at $18. That's rather pricey, and you're really only supposed to use that up to 3 times a day. I do like the Aubrey Organics Sparkling Mineral Water Herbal Complexion Mist. I keep some of this around with a bit of tea tree oil added, and that's what I used on my brushes, sometimes because it really helps like a liquid product go on smoother for me. And it helps by providing a little bit of antibacterial if I put the tea tree oil in it. Whole Foods, $7.98. So it's become a favorite, really, really easy. The other thing I use, because this just tucks into my purse so easily, are these little Evian water sprays. These Evians aren't expensive either. You can pick up the little 2-packs at Ulta. That is my very long, very nerdy winter skin routine. I do feel better having made changes in my life where I pay more attention to nutrition, both the nutrition I ingest and the nutrition that I put on my skin on the outside. Fruits, veggies, proteins rich in omegas, water, hydration, hydration, hydration. All these things are important. And I do feel better since I've moved away from overly processed things, from fast food convenience, gone more towards, again, homemade product, hand-mixed products, products that aren't overly processed, and products that aren't preserved within an inch of their lives with toxins. That is kind of my winter skincare. It's all about moisture. It has 7 parts to it, I know, which is probably crazy, really. I'm not sure, for example, that since I'm using the balms, I really need the argan oils. Part of it is I'm just like a product junkie. I love beauty products. And all of these things I really enjoy putting on my skin, and I enjoy the process, really, of getting dressed in the morning and doing my face. I suppose if I were a person who wanted to make it faster, I would find a way to cut down on all these steps. But for me, the opposite is true. The longer, the better. The more time I can spend pampering myself, the more I like it. It's very, very strange to want to pamper in a nerdy way And that's me. I love thinking about all this stuff, which is somewhat crazy. The whole idea of pampering, I think, is to let your mind wander and go away. But my mind is happiest when it's really over analyzing and thinking. And so I love it. Pamper and analyze and think and try product. As always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're using. I hope you're all having great days. Make it a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.